What is up, guys? Welcome back to Meet the Gamers. As we can see, this is a little different. We are live for our first ever live Meet the Gamers, and I'm super honored to have Mr. AK here with me today. AK and I, we've been gaming since like 2017, 2018. It's been years in the making. This is actually the first time that we have ever met in person. AK is with me. We're going on a little trip to just hang out over the summer for a couple days. We're actually meeting up with another one of our friends, Mr. I Hold Shift. But yeah, since he was coming to visit before we leave on this trip, we decided we would do a live rendition of Meet the Gamers. AK, how's it going, man?
Hey, how about you?
I'm good. I'm hoping to hear nothing but good things, because if you said you were doing poorly, it would be because of me, since you're staying with me.
I have been dying ever since I showed up last night. I have hated every second.
But yeah, like I said, we're hanging out here before we leave on a trip tomorrow, so we decided we would knock this out. But getting right down into it, I said we have been playing games for about 4 years, and it started on the one game above or below all other games in Paladins. So why don't you... Because I think, like, I have my recollection of how we sort of started, like, playing together, but why don't you give me and the people your recollection of how it went down?
My recollection is we both showed up in Shift's chat, and he mentioned that you streamed Paladins, and that we were both in college looking for AVGL teammates. So I messaged you, like, the second season I joined. I was like, yo, do you still need a team? I might have one putting together. And you're like, yeah, sure, because I think the season before, like, you need like a tank or healer main, and the team I was playing together, we were like all healer mains, including yourself. So it was like just like 4 healer mains, 1 damage main.
Well, see, you say that I needed a tank or healer. We just needed everybody, because of the team that I put together, it was me, who liked to play support, but I was either a tank or a support. Yeah. We had Jazz, who played damage, and then my roommate at the time, who played very, very casually, but he just liked playing Makoa and Barrack, so we called him a tank main. And then we picked up a free agent who was an Eevee one-trick.
Yikes.
And if Eevee got banned, he only played Torvald. So...
Wait, is that my...
that's what he played. And then we had one other guy that was a coach and said that he would rather coach than play, but he just played damage Grok for us all the time.
Yikes.
Before it was even good. He just played damage Grok. So that was my team that we did pretty decent with, and then the following year, all of those guys that I had talked to just didn't want to play anymore, or was just busy or doing other things. So when you hit me up, I was like, yes, I need a team, but also, yes, I don't have to be the team captain, so I don't have to worry about making sure everybody's online. I don't have to worry about reporting scores. Like, we had one instance where a guy played with us, and it was, you couldn't use the Cosmic or Obsidian skins that were banned because they had spectator bugs.
That's really
and we had a guy that used the Cosmic Fernando skin, and we 4-0'd the team. But after the game, one of the guys on the other team messaged me and was like, wait, did your Fernando have the Cosmic skin? So I asked him, he was like, yeah, why? I was like, you can't wear that. I told you we can't wear that. So we ended up, we talked to the guy. It was supposed to be a DQ. But we talked to the guy on the other team, and they just let us play another map, and then we just 4'd him again, so it didn't even matter.
Yeah.
But I play with a bunch of goobers, so when you hit me up, I was like, heck yeah, let's play. But we didn't even end up playing.
Yeah, because they couldn't find enough fields. It's Paladins.
Paladins was Paladins, and they kept... I think at first they delayed the deadline, another month or 2 months, because they didn't have enough teams sign up, and then they never had enough teams sign up, and they just never told us that we wasn't having it. They just never had it.
School year ended, and we were like, I guess that didn't happen.
We got ready for winter break, and we were just like, oh, well, I guess we're not playing Paladins this semester.
It's not happening.
But yeah, and then from there, we just sort of started casually gaming when we were just looking for teammates.
Yeah.
Because we both played pretty casually. At least we played casuals. We didn't grind ranked or anything.
We weren't super serious.
Yeah. Well, speaking of ranked, what I know you played a little bit of ranked because you got a higher rank than me. So what was your ranked lifeline or lifetime like?
So I don't know if you remember, but like back when each character had a rank and then each person had a rank, I think I peaked like 4,400 on Ying, which is like 100 away from Diamond Ying, and then everybody else I was like 44,000. And then when they redid the whole rank system, I literally placed Bronze 5, the lowest you could be. Played like 170 games. Finally made it to Diamond 3 or 4, and then after that I just got hard set there and gave up after that.
The grind from bronze 5 to diamond.
Yeah,
See, I never made. I think the one split that I grinded ranked, which was like my last leg of paladins,
Yeah.
because that's when I got burnt out on it. Was playing ranked. Was I think I started silver 3, and I grinded and I hit plat, but I was hard stuck gold
Yeah.
for forever, and I played until I hit plat, and when I finally hit plat, I just didn't play the game anymore. And then like they have the deterioration.
Yeah,
So
just-
I didn't play for like 3 or 4 weeks, or I didn't play ranked for 3 or 4 weeks, and then I just looked to see what my rank was, and I was back down to like
The
gold, like gold 3, and I was like, no, I'm not playing this anymore. But Paladins, it was the foundation, and like as much as we and like me and my like streams and stuff, as much as I meme on Paladins and talk bad about it, I have to give kudos where credit's due, because it gave me so many of my like friendships that I made
Yeah.
through playing video games, like whether it be you or Shift or Ren, like even getting closer with some of the GBG boys. Like that was the game that I first started gaming on and streaming on, at least like on PC,
yeah.
PC and content creating, and that was just like has such a big memory for me. Do you have any games for you where you're like, man, that game really changed like either how I look at games or changed like my community of like who I know through games or anything like that?
Yeah, for this, it actually be Paladins the same for me, because like that was actually the first game I ever played besides like DS or Game Boy games. Because I remember like it was my senior year of high school. Talking to my roommate who like played League all the time. I was like, I watched like some Overwatch videos, and I told him I want to play Overwatch, and he said, but I know a pretty much free version of Overwatch on Steam, which was Paladins. So he got me hooked on that, and I was like playing like literally every day.
So nice.
And I would have even joined Twitch, but Paladins back then was like they were like trying to hype it up. They were
Yeah.
like, you connect your accounts to Twitch, you get like free Twitch skins.
Yep.
If you watch the Twitch or the Paladins esports, we'll
You get
drop Twitch skins.
Yep.
So that's how I got into Twitch, which is how I met you, Shiv, Rin, Matrixina and her
Yep.
sisters, all of them. So that Paladins pretty much that for me.
See, I didn't know that Paladins was your first like online experience, because mine was kind of the same thing. Like growing up, I had a Game Boy,
Yeah.
and I played a ton of Pokemon and just like other like small Game Boy games. But my first online experience was a little bit of Gmod.
Mm.
I got Smite because my freshman year roommate in college, he wanted to play Gmod, so I got it. He wanted to play Smite, so I got it. And then through Smite and watching different YouTubers, I watched one guy do a sponsored video for Paladins. And I was like, and he was like, oh yeah, it's made by Hi-Res Studios. And I was like, wait a second, Hi-Res also makes
Yeah.
Smite. So like I just connected those two. It was like, and it's free. And I'm like, oh, sign me up.
Say less.
And I hate that I didn't find that sponsored video. So the sponsored video itself was back when Paladins had like the 3 gates.
Oh
And
yeah.
you had to like push through 3 different
Yeah.
gates, and like the map was like huge. And that's what it was. So I was like, this looks sick. This is insane. And then I played it, and that was not it at
Not
all.
at
They had
all.
already took it away. It was just regular payload.
Yeah.
Or it was regular Siege, and they had payload.
Bring back payload, by the way.
Bring back payload. But I played it, and I was like, this is actually a lot of fun. Like
Yeah.
it's like different characters. They're all unique. You have different classes,
Exactly.
and then you have like the loadout customization, the card customization in game that you buy. And I never felt overwhelmed, even though like someone coming from Overwatch to Paladins, I could see getting overwhelmed
Yeah.
with all the customization. But I never felt overwhelmed, and I just played it, and I never really played an online team-based game
Yeah.
before, and I was like, this is really interesting. They never had voice chat until like 3 years later, so like people couldn't flame you or anything, and then if people was talking like crap, like typing to you, you could just mute them,
Yeah.
and you didn't have to worry about that either. So it was a lot of fun. I wanted to start making. I originally wanted to make YouTube videos. I wanted to make a
Yeah.
YouTube channel and create content, and I started looking into it because the only like online access I have was a Mac laptop that is sitting right over there. It was a 2015 MacBook Air, and I'm like, this can't. Like it ran. I had to run Paladins in windowed mode for like 20 frames a second off my university Wi-Fi, and it was just not. I was like, there's no way I can do this. And I started looking into getting a PC so that I could create content because I thought it was a super interesting idea.
Yeah.
And I started looking into it, and it was like, well, if you want to make YouTube content, you need to not only have a PC that can handle the game, but you need to be able to record. You need to have a good mic. You need to have a camera. You need to have this. You got to be able to edit. You got to be able to all this other stuff. It's like, or you could live stream, where it's literally just hit the go live button and just play the game. And I was like, oh, shoot, that's so much easier. So I just started live streaming through that. And that, like, through live streaming is how it was the same thing for me. Like, I'd never even heard of Twitch until then. So I started streaming on Twitch.
Yeah.
I would look at the Paladins Twitch category when I wasn't streaming because that was the only game that I was really familiar with on Twitch. And through that, I found the Paladins game channel. And through the Paladins game channel, I found I Hold Shift because he was streaming on that channel for a while. And he would do his School of Suck.
School of Suck.
Where the whole premise was it was custom 5v5s. And everyone played a character that they weren't good with. So it was a learning experience. So you didn't have to be intimidated going into like a normal game and being bad. Because the whole premise was everyone's playing someone they're not good at. So it's a learning experience for everyone. And so I played in a couple of those, and Shift was just super nice just to play with, and he was funny and entertaining. So through that, I started hanging out in his personal streams when he would have those and played some games with him here and there. And then through him, I met you, because I remember you coming into my chat once, or we would want to do the AVGL thing.
Yeah.
And then you came in a chat, and you was like, yo, you're looking for somebody to run some games with. We
Yeah.
swapped Discord information, and then we just became a regular.
Yeah.
We just started talking. Now you mod for my chat, and, like we just hang out all the time. And now here we are. Who would have thought? Made it to the point where we're gamers meeting in person. Well, that's super interesting. So,
Yeah.
are there any other games besides Paladins where you have tried to play ranked?
I did Overwatch for a little bit because we got some friends who are into Overwatch.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
I will say I will never do that again.
Yeah, so when I like took my leave from Paladins, I was the same way. Like the natural progression, I
Yeah.
bought Overwatch because they always had it on sale for
Yeah,
like 20 or 30 bucks.
Exactly.
So I got it and I tried playing it, and it was just not like the whole concept of it. Because Paladin, by the time I quit, the Paladins burst meta had become a thing where it was
Yeah.
just like target is like get as many of your teammates to target one person at a time to kill them as quickly as
Yeah.
possible, and then just turn to the next person. And it was just like try to steamroll. And in Overwatch, that's not the case because you have so many different characters that have great survivability, whether it be like shielding, high health pool, self heals, like escapability, like whatever it may be. They have different ways to get out of things, and they make it really hard to 1v5 or 1v4 or 1v6. And I was not like I just went in. I played support for a little bit, but when I started trying to play ranked, I was just I just played tank because it was easier, and people wouldn't play around you. And I flirted in like silver and like bronze for the time that I played
plastic.
it. Yeah, it was bad. Like I think the only times I ever did my DPS placements, I was like under 1,000 SR. So
Yeah, I didn't even try DPS placements. I figured I'd be like 0.
it was bad. I mean, I had fun playing the game, but ranked was just not it for me. And then going from Paladins, you said you played some Game Boy games back in the day. Where did gaming start for you? Where did baby AK first pick up a controller?
I don't think I ever we never actually had like game systems outside the handheld ones until like I was like 10, which was like a 10-year-old GameCube.
Yep.
Which we played Animal Crossing on that. We played Luigi's Mansion, which
I had that one.
One of my favorites. We had like the Lego Star Wars games, I think, on those
classics.
And then there was this one game. It was like the Tasmanian. No, is that it? It was this weird game that was like a ripoff of Crash Bandicoot, but it was like a ripoff in the sense that like it reminded you of Crash Bandicoot, but in the sense that it was actually like a really well made game.
Okay.
But it was also like had like puzzles in it, and like 10-year-old me did not understand the puzzles, so I never made it past like the first level. Which is me with like a lot of games. Like I was really dumb with games back then. Like any game that had puzzles, I would get stuck on the first level and quit and never play again.
I mean, that's fair.
But besides for like that, we like had the Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, a Nintendo DS.
Big Nintendo guy.
Yeah, I mean those were like the cheapest things that like
True.
my family was willing to get.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I was the same way. So I started with, I had a Game Boy Advance SP.
Yeah.
My brother had a Game Boy Advance. Then we both got Nintendo DSs. We both had a GameCube, or we had a GameCube that we shared. Then we both got a Wii, and from the Wii we got an Xbox 360, which is technically a step back. And then from there, my brother kind of quit playing games. Like he would play the 360 every now and then, but he didn't really care. And then from there, I came to college, and that's when I built my PC. But that's super interesting because I went through the whole Nintendo phase as well, where I just played Pokemon games, and
Super Mario.
Super Mario. I had like one Yu-Gi-Oh game. And I had like a couple of different like racing games, and like, I had some really janky like football games. Like they were Madden or like they were Madden games, but on a freaking Game Boy. It's just, it's just blocky. Yeah, it's not good. But yeah, so we're here. We're gaming. We've made it to this point. What are we playing now? Where is AK? If you see him online, what is he gaming with?
If you see me online, I'm probably sucking in Valorant ranks. Stuck Bronze 3. Probably bottom fragging as a smoke mate.
It's not as bad as it sounds, though.
I mean, I made it to Silver 1 like 2 weeks ago. I was there for like a week, immediately lost like 8 games in a row, went back to Bronze 3, almost demoted back to Bronze 2, but luckily I did not make it that far.
No. Oh man, see that I can't play Valorant ranked. I play Valorant. I used to stream it. I don't stream it anymore, but I tried playing Valorant ranked. I was a silver forever, and then I think there was one split where I actually did my placements and I was like Bronze 3, and I was like, now I'm good.
They moved the replay down a little bit.
Yeah, now I just play casuals, or I just play like Spike Rush, and then whatever like special game mode they have at the time. But
yeah, if I'm playing by myself, I'm usually like unrated Spike Rush. But like recently, I have a bunch of friends who like all they want to do is ranked, and I'm just like, I guess I'm playing ranked then.
I'll suffer through it. See, that's like, yeah, I have some friends that play ranked, or not ranked, they just play Valorant in general. And then when we play, they're like, can we play ranked? I'm like, are you sure? And then if we do, we play one game of ranked, and then everyone gets mad, and then we just quit. And it's the same way with CSGO. I've got a bunch of friends that play CSGO. And for the longest time, CSGO didn't have, like, they had a casual game mode, but it wasn't the same as ranked. And so we didn't want to play that. So we would play ranked, and everybody would just get, like, irritated. Yeah. So we just wouldn't play that long. So Valorant, I enjoy Valorant more than CSGO. A lot of my friends don't. But Valorant's fun. It's great. I just can't stream it because, like, we've talked about this, but, like, I feel like my attention splits between, like, trying to interact with chat and be a good streamer, and then trying to focus on the game and be good at performing in the game. And then it seems like every time I focus on one, the other drops off dramatically. And I just don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to let people watch me be bad, and I don't want to be bad trying to be entertaining. So
yeah, I'm the same way. Like whenever I do stream and I do stream Valorant, I like don't chat until I'm done with the round. But at the same time, while I'm playing, my mind is that I should read chat because I've been playing the round like for 2 minutes.
Yep.
So like the entire time, I just can't play well or stream well.
I mean, that's fair, honestly. And I'm kind of the same way. And then you feel like you have to go back and like catch up with chat, and it's just not fun for anybody. But you say you stream. Go ahead and plug the streams, plug your socials, just plug away.
I don't really use social. I still have them, but like I deleted most of them on my phone. But my Twitch is twitch.tv/akdin18, and then I think that's my Instagram as well. But like I said, I don't really use it. I don't even check Twitter anymore.
All right, well, follow him on Twitch. We'll definitely have the link down in the description. Before we go, this is a Meet the Gamers podcast, but since we've made it through our gaming, besides being a master of computer science, what can we find AK doing outside of games?
I'm usually watching a movie either at the theater, like they used to meme on me because every time I came to the chat, I'm like, "Hey, just got back from a movie." They're like, "Do you watch at least 3 movies every week or something?"
And you're like, yes.
It was more like once every other week.
You're like, yes, because I have this special card that lets me watch movies. We're like, oh, okay.
Listen, if they're out and I don't have anything to do, entertainment.
I think the only time I ever memed on you was when you were like, yeah, I just got back from watching like whatever. And I was like, didn't you just watch that? He's like, yeah, I got
Maybe.
bored. I got bored, so I went and watched it again. I'm like, in theaters? He's like, yeah.
Yes.
I will agree. I love the movie experience and the movie theater experience. And now that COVID is sort of like, it's kind of drawing back. Things are starting to go back to normal because of like people getting vaccinated and stuff like that. We went to the movies last night and it was a lot of fun. I just love the movie theater experience.
For sure.
But even though the one yesterday was kind of scuffed because like
Just
normally when you're in a movie theater and it's time for your movie to start after the ads, normally they like dim the lights slowly. Yesterday they did not do that. They didn't dim the lights. They just turned the switch. So it went from like bright to dark as the movie started. And it wasn't even on the movie. There was like one or two more ads that they just cut the lights off. And then at the end of the movie, the end credits hadn't even rolled yet. And they just like, it literally like started to fade to black, lights on. And we're like, oh, well, I guess there's no post-credit scene because we won't get to see it because they already just snapped the lights on. But yeah, it went from complete dark to like bright in like a second.
Pretty sure the lights flickered at one point too, and it was like we were in a horror movie. Like, I gotta go, guys.
It was scuffed. It was all part of the experience.
Apparently.
If you're curious, we did see Cruella. I think overall we had a positive experience.
Yeah,
I think it was a pretty good movie. The one thing I will say, the CGI for them dogs, Disney, you have all of the money in the world.
Literally all the money.
Either have better CG animals or don't have them at all. Because, dear heaven, I can't count the number of times that I was like, watching Emma Stone be brilliant on screen and then get completely distracted by a Nintendo running behind her or like a PlayStation 2 graphic like trotting behind her. Like it was insane. But besides your Animorph cover looking dogs, I enjoy the movie. The music was good for the most part. There was a few songs that were hit or miss.
Yeah.
And they did miss, yeah.
But
yeah. But I think overall it was a good movie. It was fun. It was a fun experience. It was a little darker than I anticipated. There was a couple like twists here and there to make it more lighthearted. But I was not expecting that dark of a movie for Disney for one. But also like, I guess Cruella de Vil, like her villain, probably needed a dark like story and undertone. But I wasn't expecting it. But still had a lot of fun with it. All right, as far as movies, I feel like I have to do this. I want to put you on the spot with it. Top 5 movies ever, go.
Ever. I'm gonna be biased because all I've been watching lately is DC or superhero.
Then send it.
So, top 1, probably Batman Begins.
Okay.
I like it more than The Dark Knight, which is 2.
That's a take. All right.
Well, it depends. Sometimes I like Dark Knight more. Sometimes I like Batman Begins more.
Okay.
Depends on my mood. They're pretty much tied, actually.
So we got a tie for first between Batman Begins and Dark Knight. Okay.
Third is Wonder Woman from 2017.
That's interesting because you know, like the second one has been called a yikes. The first one had its critics, I'll say, but I enjoyed the first Wonder Woman. Okay.
Yeah. I thought the second one was. I enjoyed it, but
really, I didn't think you had seen the second one.
No, I saw it like a week after it came out.
Oh shoot! Okay, I must have been talking to somebody else. But yeah, so even he says the second one's fine. This man is full of hot takes regarding DC films.
Oh, you don't want to hear mine about Marvel.
This is what I love, man.
I have hot takes about Marvel.
This is what I was trying to get into. We can turn this into a movie segment right now.
Fourth is probably The Greatest Showman.
Okay.
I normally hate musicals. Like I don't get them at all. I watched that thing like 3 times at least by now.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure like the first 2 were within the first 2 months after it came out. And then, off the top of my head, fifth one might be like Molly's Game. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's like, it's like this woman who like started like an underground or like signed up underground. It's like she brought in celebrities to play like high risk poker where they
Okay.
bet like a ton of money, and because like
Gotcha.
she's running it, like they have to like pay her or
They have
something.
to
It's
pay
been a while
her.
since I read it or
Okay.
watched it,
Interesting.
but like I
Interesting.
remember watching it. It was like really enjoyed it.
Nice, nice.
There's probably movies I like more, but like off the top of my head, that's
All right. Well,
Wow.
as you can see from the shirt here,
yeah.
and he just said he is a DC fan. So, give it to me. What of the ones we haven't seen?
You got
What
it?
DC movie or collaboration would you want to see on the big screen that you think they could do justice to? No pun intended.
No pun intended. They haven't done like any Teen Titans movies, which I would
Ooh,
love.
Okay, okay.
But like Justice League, they would have to do like all the solo movies first.
Yeah, just
to
for it
actually make
to-
us.
yeah.
So they wouldn't have to spend like most of them all in one movie.
Mhm.
Superhero's like a really good character that I like. That they done one movie on like in the 80s that's like memed on because it was pretty cringe.
Okay.
I think they could do like a really cool like Doctor Fate movie.
Oh, true. That would be a good
He's like
one.
a really good character. That would be really cool to see.
Yeah, I like that.
We did Darkseid in Last Night of Justice League. I
Yeah.
just remembered. I think those are the main two, but there's
Okay.
definitely like others that I
Okay.
would love to see.
I think it would be interesting. This would be like a huge undertaking, and I would really hope they would like get some source material together to do it. But like a Lantern Corps.
Yeah, I was gonna say that
movie,
too.
Just like full, like not Ryan Reynolds. In
Yeah,
his-
like an actual
like an actual Lantern Corps movie
Yeah.
about like multiple ones. Whether you be introducing like Sinestro or other
Yeah,
Green
definitely.
Lanterns, or introducing multiple different corps
yeah.
or anything like that. I feel like that could be interesting. Martian Manhunter, just because I don't know much about him. I know they teased him
Yeah.
in spoiler alert if you haven't seen Snyder Cut, but they teased Martian Manhunter. Did you know that in that scene that wasn't supposed to
Yeah.
be Martian Manhunter? It was supposed to be Green Lantern.
Yeah,
That's
I knew
crazy.
that.
I didn't realize. I don't get what necessarily they gained from that change. I guess just driving up more hype that it's a new person and not
Well-
like, oh, it's Green Lantern again.
I heard that there's like a bunch of fan theories that General, spoiler alert,
Oh yeah.
that he
okay.
was like before that cut came out that he was supposed to be the Martian Manhunter.
Got you, and he was trying
And-
to like manipulate things from behind the scenes.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Like there's argument that supposedly, like
Okay.
I don't know anything, but like from what I've read, like
Interesting.
he planned it all along, or that he based it off the fan theory, but he was supposed to be like Martian Manhunter all along.
Okay. I remember like hearing or read somewhere that like the guy that they had cast to play Green Lantern for that scene,
Yeah.
they didn't tell him that they reshot it. So he went to the premiere
It's that
with
thing
like
to
a
see
bunch
it,
of friends,
yeah.
and he was getting so hyped up to see
That
himself,
sucks.
and then to not see himself, dude,
Yeah,
that
that's
would have made me feel so terrible. Oh, I
I
would have
would
felt
say
awful.
that.
I mean, I guess he still got paid, but like still, that would have
Yeah.
been awful. And
Well-
then trying to think of more DC questions to ask you because you are. I would love
I am
to
not
see.
the DC person. Like
I would love to see a DC like a Teen Titans movie.
For
I do
sure.
agree that they would have to put in some effort for some type of even if it's
Yeah.
not like feature length movies for origin stories. Give us like do like a 1 hour special for each origin story on like HBO Max, and then do like a feature film
Yeah.
for a Teen Titans. But I also wouldn't. Because, like, even in the show, like the animated show, like the original Teen Titans animated show on Cartoon Network, they were just, like, together. I don't ever think the first episode was them becoming the Teen Titans. They just were.
yeah,
So I don't think I would want a Teen Titans, like, the Teen Titans group origin story of, like, how they all came together. I don't know if I would want that in a movie, necessarily.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that would be really easy to flounder and, like, mishandle. But I'm also curious as to who they would cast, or if they would try to do pull the actors from Titans, the show, and just put them in the feature length, or if they would do like they did the Flash and Justice League and just
Yeah.
completely recast them.
I don't know.
Interesting. Would you ever be interested since they have the CW shows, would you ever want to see those characters, I mean besides Supergirl, turn into a feature length movie? Whether it be Flash or Green
Yeah, I
Arrow or
would
anything
love-
like that?
I think Flash getting one like next year or something. I would
Okay.
love Flash. Love Green Arrow. Green Arrow and Black Canary would be like a really good movie.
Oh yeah, true.
I mentioned superhero already. Batwoman would be a good one, but if they did have a movie for her, she'd probably be in a Batman movie.
Yeah, just a tag along
Yeah.
character. Give me an updated Constantine. Because like I'm just a big like anti-hero
for
fan,
sure.
so give me like a Constantine or a Zatanna or somebody like that.
Yeah.
Somebody that like makes questionable choices, but in the end you still root for.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I would like to see. But now that we've gone completely off the rails with DC talk, I mean it's been 30 minutes. I guess we can wrap here. I think that would be fine. So again, AKDen18 on Twitch. His link will be in the description. Be sure to follow him. Thank you for joining me, but you're kind of staying with me for
thank you.
bit. But like I said, we're gonna have this coming out. I'm gonna have a vlog coming out of our trip altogether. I don't know which one's coming out first. Probably this one because it'll be easier to edit. And then from there, we will be streaming today, which will be in the past for y'all watching this. But yeah, AK, thanks again for agreeing to do this. I don't think you were too awkward on camera, so it's fine.
I hope not.
And I hope you guys are all having a good day, whatever day, night, afternoon, morning it may be. If you did like the video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new. Comment down below and let me know who else you want to see on. Like I always say, I have a short list, but the list is short and shortening with every person I do. So if you have any ideas for people I could have on to interview, whether it be in person or through Discord like the previous few have been. Also, leave a comment down below and let me know what you think of AK's takes on good versus bad movies and if DC is better than Marvel. He didn't say it, but I'm going to say it for him.
You don't want to hear my Marvel takes.
Let me know. Leave a comment down below and let me know if I need to have AK back on later to have a DC takes versus Marvel takes and who's better, who's worse in comics and in movies. But that is going to do it for this episode. Again, I do appreciate you guys. I hope you're having a good one and I hope to see you guys soon. Peace. Much love. Take it easy, guys. Have a good one.
Bye.